Hello, welcome to the Daily West Ham. I'm Gatesy. This is Forge from Iron. Welcome along. So, as usual, guys, please don't forget to drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and touch that bell to be notified of any new content we upload to the channel, such as this. So, having a little trawl around the internet just for little news snippets to bring to you. And I've got a piece here from the West Ham Zone website stating that Alphonse Areola is likely to start against Dinamo Zagreb. Now, this was from an interview with the Athletic's Roshane Thomas, who says that he believes that David Moyes will shuffle the pack in Croatia, which I think is fairly par for the course. I think we're probably expecting that. So he goes on to say that there's a good chance that Areola, Zuma and Vlasic will start against Dinamo Zagreb. Moyes will be keen to rotate his side ahead of the game against Manchester United. Great to see that there's loads of competition in the squad. Now, obviously, Alphonse Areola has come in on loan with an option/obligation to buy. Lucas Fabianski, he had an extension to his contract, which takes him to the end of this season. He's currently 36 years of age. By the time the season finishes, he'll be 37. Alphonse Areola is currently 28 years of age. Now, I think it's fairly safe to say that there's been a lot of complaints, observations, call it what you will, about Fabianski's command of the area, coming to claim crosses, his distribution, not quite what it once was. Obviously, there's also the injury situation. You know, he's picked up a couple of injuries in the last year or two. And I wonder whether it's actually going to be sooner rather than later that Alphonse Areola becomes our number one. Now, that might appear quite harsh. I mean, Fabianski has been a tremendous servant to the club. To be fair, in the first season he was at the club, I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and he was quite clearly our hammer of the year that particular season. However, since then there's been a bit of a drop off in his performance. Nothing drastic, but it's the law of diminishing returns. And as I say, he's going to be 37 during the course of this season, and I'm just wondering whether actually there's going to be a changing of the guard happening maybe ahead of time. For me, I think if Areola comes in against Dinamo Zagreb, in my opinion, I would say if he comes in and performs admirably, and, you know, if I say gives at least a 7 out of 10 performance, personally, I would keep him in against Manchester United. I really would. I think that Kurt Zuma's going to come in, and I'm not being funny. I mean, all right, we've paid 30 million quid for the guy there or thereabouts. I don't think it's a stretch to suggest that Kurt Zuma will probably start against Manchester United at the expense probably of Craig Dawson. Why not Areola? I personally think, I mean, this is a guy that was the Fulham player of the year last season in a team that went down, but he only conceded, I think, 4 more goals than Lucas Fabianski, I seem to remember reading. So, you know, I think that this is probably going to happen sooner rather than later. I think that Areola is going to be our number one. Lucas Fabianski will shortly become a bench warmer, very good bench warmer. And he will probably have to make do with domestic cup competitions and whatever else comes his way. But I think that the time is getting closer for Fabianski to make way for Areola. Tell me what you think. Do you think that the changing of the guard is imminent, or do you think that there's still a bit of gas in the tank as far as Lucas Fabianski is concerned? You've got the comments section below. Tell me what you think. Do you agree with me that Areola needs to be coming in fairly quickly, or do you think that we need to be a little bit more loyalty shown to our incumbent number one? Another story that I wanted to bring you, again, this was from the West Ham Zone. It seems that we're still keen on getting in Dundee United's 16-year-old defender by the name of Kerr Smith. Now, according to ex-WHU employee, it says we're still keeping tabs on him. Now, this was a guy that we were keeping an eye on, and there was talk that we were looking to get him in. And it says here he was actually close to signing on deadline day, but it never actually happened. But according to X, it says that we're still keeping an eye on him. A guy called Kerr Smith, quotes unquote, who we were close to signing on deadline day. He is one as well who we are keeping an eye on. Now, Kerr Smith, he hasn't played much in the way of first team football. I think I looked on Transfer Market a little bit earlier. I think he's played 7 matches for the first team in various competitions. But obviously, this is someone that David Moyes is quite keen on. In fact, there's a quote here from Mark Connolly, who is a senior player for Dundee United, says, quotes unquote, there was our 16-year-old centre-half, referring to Kerr Smith, and he quoted him. He said he was fantastic. Now, for me, I think, I'm like, if those of you that have seen me on streams before know that I'm quite keen to get back to what we come out onto the pitch and there is emblazoned on in the carpet, the Academy of Football. Now, I think we need to get back to that. I think we need to get back to producing more of our own talent. Now, I know, all right, you could turn around and say, well, this isn't our own talent. This isn't a guy from places like Stratford or East Ham or Plaistow or wherever. This is a guy from Dundee. But even so, I think, he's still going to come through into our youth system at the age of 16, like Declan Rice. Declan Rice was, 14 when he came to West Ham from Chelsea. They rejected him. And, we claim him as, an academy product. So this isn't really too much different, in all honesty. So for me, if this is a player that David Moyes obviously is keeping an eye on, David Moyes was a centre-back by trade when he was a player. So I think he's going to have a sort of like a good understanding of, what a good young prospect in that position is going to need to bring to the table. So I think, this is possibly something that could reap dividends. But as I say, it is a risk, but it's something, it's a low sort of like investment in that, it's not going to be a player that we're spending tens of millions of pounds on and we're going to take a massive financial hit if it goes wrong. If it goes well, then absolutely fine. If it doesn't, then to be honest, no harm done. It's not like we've spent sort of like a ridiculous amount of money on getting a player in, like we did with Felipe Anderson, like we did with Sebastian Haller, players like that. So, but again, you got the comment section below. Let us know what you think. Last little snippet, and this is a little bit more light-hearted. It was just something I caught that it appears that there's some talk that Jennifer Lopez is a West Ham fan. There was some post that she's put on Instagram where she was standing there with someone else, and she's got the old crossed hammers. Listen, I think that Jennifer Lopez is a West Ham fan. I very much doubt that, but it seems to have caused a little bit of conversation on the internet. Whatever floats your boat. Jennifer Lopez is a West Ham fan. Yeah, I doubt it very much, but there you go. We'll take what we can get, Hollywood A-lister. So, yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to disappear off now. Thanks very much indeed for listening. And only one thing left to say, as usual, and that is, come on, you Irons.